Hi everyone. This morning my daughter said to me, "Mum, it's only 8 Fridays until Christmas." Crazy, eh? Where has this year gone? This morning we went for a big ride up over the Swaps beef farm. Absolutely stunning views. The operations manager showed us the track we needed to follow, so we knew where we were heading and we knew how we had to get there. And then I looked down and I saw this humongous thistle. And I thought, we've just deployed maintenance planning and scheduling. We've got this clear vision. We know the path that we have to get there. But a key part of our success is the check and adjust of the PDCA. And if we don't check, weeds are going to come up right underneath our feet. And they transform so quickly into these big buggers that simply trip us up. So it's great to see manufacturing doing their maintenance planning and scheduling audits currently and seeing those results come through. And fleet services have also got their track assessment. Remember guys that we also have the check sheets. So we don't need to wait to do our audits. We can do those interim checks along the way. So they are planned, they are focused and they are deliberate. These check sheets are available on the process zone. Thinking about stunning views? Check out the mountain. This was only a couple of weeks ago when I was down in Whareroa for the LNI Maintenance Planning and Scheduling Deployment Lead workshop, hanging out with this cool bunch. And whilst I was down there, it was also great to see a well-structured PPM and Team Lead Asset Care meeting, reviewing notification quality and APA data with a combination of both preventative and corrective actions. And on my last day, I caught up with Sean, one of our team leaders, who shared how they are measuring schedule attainment through the layers of DMS. So for those of you who have attended one of Aaron Goldsberry's Leadership Link sessions, you would have seen this diagram. It was pulled together to start thinking about how we build a focus on planning and scheduling attainment into the wider site team conversation.
If I look at the Tier 1 DMS, it's basically looking at, with our staff, looking at where we scheduled work from the day before, made sure that we actually did complete that work, and if we haven't, then putting steps in place to either complete when we can or change work to suit the following day. So then from that perspective, I go to the Tier 2 with the PPM member. And at the Tier 2, we can then look at, okay, what didn't we attain? Why didn't we attain it? And then potentially either get extra windows for that work or progress into the next available slot, basically, so maybe the next week or a couple of weeks' time, depending on when windows are available. But it's communication between the PPM and the team leader at that level that will adjust what we do from a daily schedule basis. Looking at the Tier 3, so from there it's taken to Tier 3 in regards to the communication at the Tier 3. Why did we miss attainment? And even though the maintenance manager may be reporting on that schedule attainment or non-attainment, it's not the maintenance team that is solely responsible for that. It's a team effort between production and maintenance. So the maintenance manager will report on it. However, why was attainment not reached? Can we make sure that doesn't happen again? If it's breakdown work, then why are we having breakdowns? Why are they taking priority over our scheduled work? So it's that communication, keeping those channels open. And potential is, if it's breakdown work, then can we mitigate those breakdown issues? Have they reached trigger points that will highlight that we need to do follow-up work or need to do SPSs or something along those lines to mitigate that happening again. If I look at the planning and scheduling front, then in regards to the planning side, we want to make sure that our plans are correct. So time base, we've got the right resources, we've got the right contractors if we're using contractors, but making sure our plans aren't, buffed out or have fat in them, because really we want to make sure that our guys are working on the right items at the right time. We want to make sure that when we go to production for windows and work that in with the PPM, that we're not asking for bigger windows than we actually need in reality. We're giving them this is the window we need. If you make that window happen, we'll make sure we have the resources to fit that window. On a scheduling front, if we're scheduling to the guys, we're making sure that the guys are constantly on tools, which being on tools doesn't mean just holding a spanner. Being on tools means also closing off that whole routine of closing out the notifications, giving the feedback back to the planners so the planners can make their plans better for the next time we work on that same asset. So we have the plan do check, bring it back around to the planners, take it to the team leads, take it through to the technicians, make sure that we are actually getting better plans in the future as well. So not constantly staying on the one treadmill. Looking at the national SOPs that have been rolled out in regards to planning and scheduling, we need to make sure that there's layered checking within that, and not just at a site basis, but to ensure that the sites themselves are actually working to the national SOP standards. The layered checking would involve audits, so audits between all the sites, and then those audits would obviously have action plans for where they can improve and line themselves up correctly with the SOPs. If sites are having issues with the SOPs, then it's something that site should not deal with themselves, but it should be something that the site takes back to the national team, and then the national team identifies that as an issue across the board. If Fonterra wants to work as one Fonterra, then we need to be able to do exactly that. So not just work at a site level, it's making sure we do work at a national level.
Great to see Sean sharing a focus on continuous improvement. On Friday, I also caught up with Scotty, our fleet service manager at Whareroa, and his team, and I was so impressed with the workshop. I think probably one of the most tidiest and organised workshops I've seen. And I loved seeing the shadow boards all set up around the workshop at the point of most productive. Again, another great example of removing waste and getting efficiency within our process. I'd like to take a moment to update you with our new asset leadership site. So you'll be familiar with high maintenance, which is purely process and systems, and we wanted to create more of a holistic framework. You'll see all these new header tabs and subtitles, but please note that this site is still in development, and the population of information is being managed by our new asset information manager, Amelia Nichol. So Amelia is looking after the tabs across the top, and then these tabs down the bottom I have developed and populated from our high maintenance site. So if we click on our documentation, for example, you will see our maintenance planning and scheduling process owners in here. I've also included a link to the asset category plans developed by Lisa Drysdale, and there's many other tabs that you'll see that are familiar that we've just populated over from high maintenance. Our conversation is still currently under build. We have these categories and are currently building the subcategories for maintenance planning and scheduling. So really wanting to create a space here to have a two-way conversation and to be able to share knowledge and ask questions. So I will update again in next month's blog, and by then all of high maintenance information will be well and truly transferred over. So I would like to introduce you to Amelia. Whilst our team have built the site, Amelia is our new asset information manager, and she's responsible for working with the business, so you guys, to populate the information into that build.
Simply put, Asset Information Manager manages the information we have pertaining to our engineering assets and our people within New Zealand manufacturing. It is based on methodology of knowledge stock and knowledge flow. Knowledge stock consists of collecting, storing and sorting the important and relevant information that we have for all of our assets. Then we go through a moderation process, applying metadata and master data to make sure we're able to search the information that we want. Then it's all about making the information available to our people and validating that information to ensure it's still correct and accurate, and then collaborating with our people to make sure they're informed and that it is a two-way conversation. The Asset Leadership Framework will pull together and provide a holistic view of all of the things we have going on around asset leadership within the business. This system is now live, but we're still in the process of populating data, so don't be scared that there are some empty spaces around the site. We really want to get out to site and actually get the end users, you guys, some feedback on what you guys need and want in that site. So I'll be coming out to see you guys before Christmas, otherwise I'll see you in the new year.
So I'm probably going to have to wrap it up here, even though I've got lots of cool footage and interviews over the last month, but the blog will just get too long. So I'm going to leave you with Steve Hill, our team leader from Cowrie, who's been on the maintenance planning and scheduling journey since our first community of practice.
The journey for me, maintenance planning and scheduling, started in July as a member of the COP, the Community of Practice, that got together down in Clandeboy. Initially I sort of thought, what have I got to offer? Where are we going with this? This is going to be too hard. Yep, really aware that we needed it. So consequently that's what really influenced me to be part of the journey. Rather than being told I wanted to be part of the solution. So Really enjoyed the community practice. It was a new way of learning for me, and an experience I really enjoyed and appreciated. And that's really flowed on to where we are now as being a deployment lead. So again, we got together at Te Awa Mutu. Initially, the group was quite resistive to change. There was a lot of dissent and good discussion, and it was really deja vu back to the real start of the COP. So I guess what I really take out of it is you put a group of people together who all had feelings like myself. What have I got to offer? And you get this power of a group that comes together, and every single person participates. Every one of us give up things, we gain things, we share our knowledge, and it just shows you the power of the group will always succeed. You know, if we get together as one team, we will succeed, and the links that and bonds and people we join together with, we've got the answers in that room and the destiny's in our control. So yeah, I think we've looking forward to the audit, to where we get to see if we landed in the right place, and doing the check and adjust, because to me that's a critical part. The plan and do have rolled out really well, and now looking forward to the check and adjust. So yeah, been a great process, and thank Teresa and the people that have pulled it all together. Cool.